Yeah.
How did you start charting,
Um,
or
what do you
who
mean
did you?
how?
I I I I, I vividly remember Carpe Noctem being who got me in on it.
Hmm.
Right, like I saw Carpe Noctem charts, and I just started watching videos after videos after videos until the Ichimoku language started translating to me, and then
Yep.
his whale talks and stuff like that. So shout out Josh again. But I'm curious, what's your history of like how you got this deep? Because you're deep into this, whether you think it or not.
Um, so so personally, I like to analyze things and I like the technical aspects of charting. How I started though was just to like not have my 401k get fucking nuked, basically. Like like seriously, like if so think luckily I was, like let's here, let me pull this chart up. Like I don't know how many people were trading or investing or whatever. But like I said, I started accumulating in here. And so when we approached the high here, my gut reaction was like, not that we're going to all new highs. I don't know why, but that's what it was. And so there was news out, and and what I told you about this particular one was I distinctly remembered there being like gas crisis. There was tanker trucks going across El Paso and shit like this. Like it was nuts. And um, food prices were getting like they were dropping in price. Like I'm like this is not a healthy economy. And so like I was out. I was fully out. And and so been that's been the whole reason. Like I was out here actually in December. Like when I started catching news of that freaking new plague that was gonna potentially wipe us all out, I was like, yeah, the market's not gonna like that, and I'll just be cool for a little bit. I'm okay with like losing 5 or 10%. That's okay, like on the upside. Um, and so like I was just back in the day was just moving averages and just general over exuberance, things like that. Like I would pay attention to like sentiment, like everyone is frothy, all that kind of stuff. And um, yeah, it started out of just wanting to protect it. Now, when I decided to like actually um, trade was back when, like I said, in when I had got a chance in crypto. That was probably when I was like really trading. I was trading stocks before then. Crypto's when I actually was like I had to the volatility was so violent that like the discipline had to be better, um, which I'm still working on. Like I think every trader goes through this, like no matter how good. Like even if you watch that video I posted on our Discord, he talks about it. John Carter,
Mm-hmm.
he's like yeah, he still deals with it. So I think like that's a thing that we all have to get through or whatever. But like yeah, I think that was it. And then I just gone down the rabbit hole on different things. Like um I didn't particularly like I got on so the funny thing is like I started charting on um TrendSpider more than TradingView and I liked it better. But then eventually it was like it was so fucking slow. Like I was so irritated by how slow it was to like move and refresh. And so like eventually I moved over to TradingView. And so I've been here the whole time. Your tools are here. And then yeah, I've just been here. Um, and then I just added things, right? Like I looked for people that were doing it right. The first person that I saw that was doing it right was like that had sort of the mentality of like I'm gonna sit in a position when it makes sense was Dave DeWave, and the way he laid out his thoughts and reasonings for entering a position or when to buy really is more what he does. Um, I was like, okay, I get this, and then I started adding other people to it. Um, Josh was like one of the first two as well. Um, he had his he had his Ichi Cloud, and I thought, holy shit, I don't know anything about this, but it clearly is doing like it has like it's definitely valid. Like we have to be paying attention to this. Um, and and then I started under like I I would say like moving averages and fibs were always my thing, and I loved fibs. I thought there's 100% something happening here with the fib. I just need to make it work. And then I started seeing the patterns, and everything started chiving. Um, and then I've just added tools in that complement it. That's why I have like PPO instead of like I like PPO instead of MACD. It's very similar though. Of course, I have RSI. I just added the squeeze because now I understand why it's important. I couldn't actually. I knew when things were squeezing, but I was trying to time it with other tools that weren't doing it right, and squeeze actually works um, pretty well. So I'm super stoked with that. And I use ADX for momentum. Um, you can see that John thinks that this is a good, and I'm not going to tell John he's wrong because he's right and I'm wrong. But like TTM, he thinks that this momentum is done. Well, but this is a huge uptrend, and so I'm like, I want this trend. So that's where my EMA clouds come in, and that's where ADX comes in. And some of his other videos, he does talk about ADX, um, and he's definitely a huge believer in EMAs too as well.
That's cool. I remember getting struck by Josh specifically because it was I'm really good at picking up if someone's lying to me. So
Mm.
like, there's people that talk charts and stuff, and they're just like, okay, he's full of it. Josh was just genuine as can be and very consistent, and I was like, okay, he's talking real stuff. What are these whales he's talking about? What on earth is a Tenkin and a Kijin?
Right.
I was like, I don't even know how to spell these things. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start watching and listening to his YouTubes every day, driving in and back to work until it quits sounding like a foreign language, and then stuff started clicking, and then that's what really drove me into, okay, I need better tools, and then it's like, these tools don't exist. I need to start learning how to code my own stuff to find these whales, and that's how all this turned out to be.
And I think that's a huge part of um, like I hate to say it, it's true though, but like you have to spend the time
You do.
here.
There's nothing easy.
Um, yeah.
No, I mean,
There's
I
e- all of our fam in Rainbow Trends, but if there's any other listeners that stumble on, like you have to have the discipline to do it all the time, to call your shit when it's shit, and to have unfortunately a lot of discipline. Like it's not a Cowboys game. Like this is like this is the real deal. Like you have to have rules and structure to win.
you will take scars. Like, you will get
Yeah.
scarred. Like, you will not come out to the other side without scars. Because I've that's what I always, because people will hit me up and they're like, hey, I'm talking to this quant guy or blah 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 blah, and I was like, well, the first thing is if they don't tell you about blowing up bags of money they cut their teeth on with a bot, and they just say that they've walked on water their entire career, like, it's clearly a scam. You want to
Yeah.
find that dude who's been burned before, to protect your money if you're going to trust him. Um,
Yeah. The hardest part is losing a shit ton of